You grab your keys, slip on your shoes, and head for the door. Your dog watches, tail still, eyes locked on you. And without thinking twice, you say, "I'll be back soon, baby," in that high-pitched, overly affectionate voice. Maybe even throw in a dramatic hug and a kiss on the head. It feels loving. It feels like the right thing to do. But here's the truth most dog owners never hear. That goodbye might be one of the most emotionally damaging things you do to your dog. And you have probably been doing it for years. After working for more than 15 years as a dog daycare attendant, I have watched thousands of dogs get dropped off by their owners. I have seen the difference crystal clear between the dogs who settle in calmly and the ones who fall apart the moment their owner walks away. The difference almost always comes down to what happens in those final moments before the goodbye. In this video, I am going to walk you through the mistakes that secretly hurt your dog when you leave them alone and what to do instead. If you love your dog and want to protect their emotional well-being, this is something you need to know. The dramatic goodbye. Let's start with the big one, the dramatic farewell. You crouch down, cup their face, look into their eyes, and say things like, "Mommy is gonna miss you so much. Be a good boy. I love you. I'll be right back, okay?" Your voice goes soft, maybe a little sad. You linger. You pet them one more time, then another. To you, it feels like love. To your dog, it feels like a warning. Dogs are masters at reading energy. They do not understand your words, but they absolutely understand your tone, your body language, and the shift in your emotions. When you suddenly become overly affectionate and emotional right before leaving, your dog picks up on the change and interprets it as something being wrong. In their mind, you are signaling that this departure is a big deal, something to worry about. And because dogs are pack animals who naturally want to stay close to their family, that emotional buildup makes the separation feel even more distressing. The fix is counterintuitive, but powerful. Make your departure boring. No long goodbyes, no sad voice. Just grab your things and leave like it is the most normal thing in the world. Because to your dog, it should be. Sneaking out. On the flip side, some owners try to avoid the drama altogether by sneaking out when their dog is not looking. They wait until their pup is distracted by a toy or napping in another room, then quietly slip out the door. It might seem kind, but it actually creates a deeper problem: unpredictability. Dogs thrive on routine and knowing what to expect. When you disappear without warning, your dog eventually notices you are gone and has no idea when or how it happened. This can trigger a spike in anxiety because now they feel like they need to keep constant watch. If you vanished once without warning, you might do it again. Over time, this erodes their sense of security. Instead of relaxing when you are home, they start monitoring your every move. They follow you room to room. They panic when you go near the door. They never truly settle. The better approach? Give a brief, calm cue before you leave. Something neutral like picking up your keys or saying a simple "see you later" in a flat tone, then go. Predictability builds trust. Trust builds calm. Leaving in silence. Here's a mistake people rarely think about: leaving the house in total silence. When you are home, there is noise. Your voice, the TV music, the sounds of you moving around. Your dog associates those sounds with safety and your presence. When you leave and the house goes completely quiet, that sudden silence can feel unsettling, even eerie. For some dogs, the silence amplifies every other sound: a car passing, the neighbor's door closing, a bird outside. Without background noise to mask those sounds, anxious dogs become hyper-alert, which keeps their stress levels high the entire time you are gone. Try leaving calm music on, a podcast, or the TV at low volume. Research shows that classical music and reggae can have a calming effect on dogs. The goal is not entertainment. It is creating an acoustic environment that feels familiar and safe. Skipping the pre-departure routine. Another common mistake is rushing out the door without giving your dog any mental or physical outlet beforehand. Think about it from your dog's perspective. They have been lounging around, maybe napping, and suddenly you are gone. Now they are alone with a bunch of pent-up energy and nothing to do with it. That restless energy has to go somewhere, and often it turns into anxiety, barking, pacing, or destructive behavior. Before you leave, take your dog for a walk or play a quick game. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of activity helps burn off excess energy and triggers the release of calming brain chemicals. A tired dog is a relaxed dog. Mental stimulation matters just as much. A puzzle feeder, a frozen Kong stuffed with peanut butter, or a snuffle mat can keep your dog's brain engaged for the crucial first 15 to 20 minutes after you leave, which is often when anxiety peaks. Returning with over-the-top excitement. Now let's talk about what happens when you come back home. You open the door and there's your dog, tail wagging, whole body wiggling, maybe jumping up or spinning in circles. It is adorable. It is hard not to match that energy. So you crouch down, let them lick your face, and tell them you miss them so much. You ask if they were a good boy, and you tell them that they were. Here is the problem. If your departure was low-key, but your return is a huge celebration, you are still teaching your dog that your absence is a significant event. The contrast reinforces the idea that being apart was something to endure, and your return is a massive relief. Over time, this can actually intensify separation anxiety. Your dog learns that the best part of their day is when you come home, which makes your absence feel even more unbearable. Instead, keep your return just as calm as your departure. Walk in, set your things down, maybe give a brief acknowledgement, and then wait until your dog has settled before offering affection. I know it feels unnatural, but it teaches your dog that comings and goings are no big deal, and that helps them feel secure. Not creating a safe space. Some dogs struggle with being left alone because they do not have a designated place that feels like their own. In the wild, dogs seek out dens, small enclosed spaces where they feel protected. That instinct still lives in our domestic dogs. Without a safe space, your dog might wander the house aimlessly, unsure where to settle, which keeps their anxiety simmering. A crate, when introduced properly, can become that den, a cozy retreat where your dog feels secure. But even if you do not use a crate, creating a consistent spot with their bed, a favorite blanket, and a piece of clothing that smells like you can make a world of difference. The key is association. That space should only ever be linked with positive experiences, like treats, rest, and comfort. Never use it as punishment. When done right, many dogs will actually choose to go to their safe space on their own, even when you are home. Punishing anxiety-driven behavior. This one breaks my heart because it happens so often. You come home to find a chewed-up shoe, a scratched door, or a mess on the floor. Your first instinct might be to scold your dog, to let them know this is not acceptable. But here is what most people do not realize. If your dog acted out while you were gone, it almost certainly was not spite or misbehavior. It was anxiety. Dogs who destroy things, bark excessively, or have accidents when left alone are usually in genuine emotional distress. Punishing them after the fact does not teach them anything. Dogs cannot connect a correction to something they did hours earlier. What it does do is make your return something to fear. Now, they are not only anxious when you leave, they are also anxious when you come home. The problem gets worse, not better. If you are dealing with destructive behavior, look for the root cause: more exercise, mental enrichment, a smaller space, calming supplements. If it is severe, consider working with a professional trainer or a veterinary behaviorist who specializes in separation anxiety. Inconsistent departures. Dogs find comfort in patterns. When your leaving routine is unpredictable, sometimes calm, sometimes emotional, sometimes sneaky, your dog never learns what to expect. That uncertainty keeps them on edge. Try to keep your departures as consistent and calm. Use the same general routine, the same neutral energy, the same calm cues. Over time, your dog learns the pattern and starts to understand that you leaving is just part of normal life. It is temporary, it is safe, and you always come back. Ignoring the signs of distress. Finally, one of the biggest mistakes is simply not recognizing when your dog is struggling. Separation anxiety does not always look like destruction or constant barking. Sometimes it is subtle. Excessive drooling, panting, pacing, not eating while you are gone, or being overly clingy when you are home. Some dogs will sit by the door the entire time you are away and never truly relax. If you are unsure how your dog behaves when alone, try setting up a camera. What you see might surprise you, and it can help you understand what your dog really needs. Every single one of these mistakes comes from a place of love. You hug them because you will miss them. You celebrate when you return because you are happy to see them. You sneak out because you do not want to see them sad. But love is not just about intention, it is about impact. The most loving thing you can do for your dog is help them feel safe, secure, and calm, even when you are not there. If any of these hit close to home, you are not alone. And it is never too late to make changes. Start small, be consistent. Trust that your dog will adjust. Now, I would love to hear from you. What does your dog do when you leave? Have you noticed any of these patterns? Drop a comment and share your experience. If you found this helpful, do not forget to subscribe so you never miss a video that helps you understand and care for your dog on a deeper level.